Shorty had them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, and the whole club is looking at her. She is the slut. Next thing you know, she got low. Baggy sweatpants and the Reeboks with the straps. Turn around and gave that big.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. It's the Ramage Show, and we have a great guest today. We have Eric Rathsack, lead singer, Ask Your Mother band. They'll be performing this Friday night, or the Friday night of the draft. We'll figure out the time after he gets on here. He's muted right now. But before we get into all that, let me give a shout out to some sponsors right here. You know what I mean? All right, today's episode is sponsored by Nicolay Law, proud to serve the good people of the Midwest. These aren't some big, scary lawyers in a glass tower. They're local folks who get it. They've helped thousands of people around here who've been injured and stuck dealing with all the stress that comes after. And let's be real, dealing with insurance companies after an accident, it's the worst. They stall, they lowball, and they make everything way more complicated than it needs to be. That's where Nicolay Law comes in. If you've been hurt and the insurance companies giving you the runaround, these are the folks who will step in, fight for you, and make sure you actually get the money you owed. Don't try to handle it on your own. Head over to nicolaylaw.com or give them a call, 1-855-NICOLAY. You know what I mean? I'm not real good at reading, Eric, you know what I mean? But I felt like I did all right there. Let me unmute you real quick, and we get underway over here. How'd I do?
I mean, I thought you did about as good as you could be expected. I mean, you know, I don't picture Matt Ramage as one of the best well-read people I know out there. I feel like your intellect comes from your feelings, like your gut feelings about things. Like you're very passionate about things, and I don't feel like that your reading is like what your passion comes from.
You're not smart, but you got passion.
I didn't say that at all. That's not what I said at all.
All right, we're gonna have a fun chat, but also a big sponsor, Quick Trip. If you're heading over to Green Bay for the draft, and from out of state, you don't know where to stop and get gas, where to get food, Quick Trip is that spot. They got the gasoline that you're gonna need. They got the food. They got the hot spot. They got the beer. They got the ice. Anything that you need for wherever you're going for the draft. Hit up Quick Trip. Make sure it's a Quick Trip with a K. If you're from one of those states that they have the Q Quick Trip, you're going to learn a little something about the greatest gas station in the world. But what is up, Eric? We have Eric Rathsack from Ask Your Mother band up in this thing. Oh,
hello.
I had the applause ready. I was a little delayed.
It's all good. I'm delayed, so I'm a little delayed, so that's perfect for me.
Dude, you're rocking a sweet hoodie right there.
Oh, yeah. Someone named Matt got me this hoodie.
There you go.
Draft day. Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping to see a lot of those hoodies down by the draft. They've actually been doing pretty good, you know?
Dude, they're sweet looking. They are awesome. They're super comfortable, too. I really like mine a lot. I do plan on wearing mine on Friday as well. So
there you go. And I'm going to be down there. Just for everyone who doesn't know, what time do you guys get on stage?
We are playing, I believe, 5:30 till 8:30 on not the main stage, but there's a concert stage they have. They have two stages going there so they can rotate bands back and forth. So it's like basically nonstop entertainment the whole time you're there.
So let's talk about that. Big shout out to Stadium View. I did a video there this last week. I think Stadium View, I mean, there's a lot of good bars down there, but like Stadium View is like, I feel like everyone like has their number one. And Stadium View definitely for my the band setup over there is ridiculous. Like they say, they have like 16 shows, I believe, from Thursday to Saturday.
Yeah,
you're one of those. How is that going to work? Like you say that they're going to be rotating back and forth because obviously two bands, they have two stages. How is it going to work out? Explain it to everyone.
So basically, what's going on, and this is part of the band life that people don't understand because they just see the show. But like our setup is we have to be there, I believe, at 6:15 a.m. for a show that starts at 5:30 p.m. So basically the way it works, the way like big shows work, like if you go see like a national act play, the headline will have their stuff set up at the far back, and then the band that plays in front of them will be their stuff will be set up. It's all kind of set up in levels. So even though the stage may be huge, they're not using the whole stage. Each band has their own stuff set up in front of each other, kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing there. And then when we're done, I believe the glam band will be starting over on the other stage. Like maybe right before we're done, even too. I think we overlap a little bit actually too. So
Yeah.
so that's how they're going to do that.
I was wondering now, I was like, are they gonna have two stages going at the same time? Like, are they that far apart where like it doesn't like interfere with each other? But
they're gonna interfere. I don't think they're gonna interfere that much because it's gonna be such a huge area.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And glam band is gonna be uncovered, and I believe we're under a tent, so it's gonna be kind of some separation there.
Yeah, glam band. That's a good band too.
They're awesome. I love those guys. They're one of the best in the area.
Dude, when I saw them in Marinette, and like I was actually like stunned how good they were. I was like,
Oh yeah.
dude, like I don't go to a lot of concerts, but I just happened to be there. I was at the Diver Christie and the crew, and I was just like, dude, these guys are so good. Like you couldn't even convince me
we
at
were
that
both
moment
there.
that wasn't in the 80s.
Right. Yeah, we were both there. It was fun.
You were there too.
Hey, don't you remember when I got on stage with them and you're like, I can't believe you got up there,
dude? Because it's funny. 'Cause I think I went to get a beer or something. I walked away and I was standing next to you, and then I came back and I was like, where'd he go? And then I'm not paying attention. I look up on the stage. I'm like, oh, that's him right there.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome because I think we just met then. So then to like see you like hanging out with you, then to see you performing, I think anyone who could perform on a stage, whether it's music or like comedy or whatever you're doing, is ridiculous. Especially when all these people are there and they're there to be entertained. And they're like, you better be good at whatever it is you're doing. You better be awesome. Even if I didn't pay to get in here, it better be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I've only been nervous for 2 shows in my life, and one was the very first one I ever did, and the second one was when we came back from COVID. Other than that, like I'm always excited to get up there. So
yeah, that's good. I think like with more that you do, I guess you're not nervous. I'm gonna be doing some stuff on Thursday. I'm a little nervous about not extremely. I'm getting better at not being nervous. But I think if you're not nervous, then you probably don't care as much. But like WBAY in the morning, 6 o'clock hour, I'll be on talking about some draft stuff. Hopefully they don't ask me nothing too tough. They didn't last time, so I think we're good. Because I always worry like when I do that stuff is that they're gonna ask me like some smart person question. You know what I mean? Like, who the Packers going to draft first? They did ask some stuff about the draft, and I said after I was like, oh, that was stupid. I shouldn't have said that.
you know what I hope. You know what I hope Goody does. I hope he trades out of the first round and gets some really good picks later on because he always seems to do better in the later rounds than he does in the first round. So that's just my opinion.
Dude, I think what he's going to do is like something that no one has predicted. Like everyone's predicted, like he's going to trade back, he's going to trade up, he's going to draft this guy, he's going to do this. It's going to be something because it always seems to be with the Packers, like outside the box type of thing, like some guy people weren't really looking at too much, and or maybe it's just me because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm like, I'm always stunned, I'm always shocked.
Right. Oh, I can't believe they picked that guy. Yeah.
That guy I never heard of before.
Yeah, this guy I've never heard of. Yeah.
That I'm now the biggest fan of.
I just bought his jersey. He's the best ever.
So where's your knowledge level sit on Packers?
I follow them pretty close. They've been my team since I was a kid. Like Sterling Sharp was my guy back in the day. I was so excited to see him make it to the Hall of Fame. So like Don Mikowski era, like my very first Packer game, I was 10, and that was Brett Favre's first year with the Packers. It was a preseason game, and that was amazing. Like to say I was there is pretty cool.
That is awesome.
His first game ever in a Packer uniform I got to see. It was Mikowski was injured the year before, and he was coming back, and I was excited to see him play. I remember the first pass he threw that game got picked off, and everyone's like, he sucks again, whatever. And then Favre came in, and footballs were flying everywhere, so.
So who was your first favorite quarterback?
My first favorite quarterback, I had a Don Mikowski poster hanging up. Like, I legit did. Like, Magic Man,
Oh, we got a comment here. Stretch knows everything about the 1943 Packers.
Who said that?
True?
I don't know anything about it. Is it Nick James?
No, Nick Dobson.
Oh, yeah. That's Nick James. He is a big Ask Your Mother fan. He knows more about the WWE than any person I know.
All right. I know like a little bit about the old school WWE, like
Oh,
Ultimate
yeah.
Warrior, Hulk Hogan, like those
Absolutely.
days. We used to get that pay per view at my house, and uncles like family would come from, because there was that pay per view. Everyone's throwing
Right.
up. But I remember the Ultimate Warrior was my guy back then. I mean, Hulk Hogan
He
was
was mine,
everyone's.
too.
Everyone was a Hulkamaniac, so that just goes without saying. But Ultimate Warrior, I just felt like he had so much energy. I mean, now we kind of know why, but he had a lot of energy.
It was chemically enhanced energy, but he had the energy.
He was always like grabbing the ropes, like he was
Oh,
getting
absolutely.
electrocuted or whatever.
Right.
That
He
was,
always
we
was
got,
he's getting the power of all the little warriors,
I mean, we got Christy chiming in. She said, when Eric Rathsack isn't watching the Packers, is he watching Duck Dynasty? Are you a big Duck Dynasty fan?
That's
Or
funny
that's
that
a
you
duck
said that.
joke.
I used to really like that show mainly because the stuff that Cy Robertson would say constantly was hilarious to me. I'm not a huge fan of their duck calls per se because I have a duck hunting problem. So, but I do have one of their teal calls which aren't terrible. But I
So
don't
you're
really watch
saying that their duck calls are trash?
Not necessarily. I never bought any of their high end ones, so I can't say for sure yes or no if they are or not. I actually have one of their teal calls that's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's bad because it's not. But I literally I blow a really cheap duck call. Like it's super. Like it was $20 when I bought it. So and I still use it because I can make it sound like a duck.
So how many ducks do you think you put down, take out the Earth atmosphere in a given year?
I actually keep track of that, believe it or not. So I have records. Last year, the year before, I think my number was at around 56 or something like that.
There you go. So you're a big duck lover in
Yeah.
all types of different ways.
They taste delicious. Yes, I love them.
All right, we got a question here from Mr. Rev Trev. Says, Eric, who's your favorite Packer on our current roster and why? There we go. We got a Packer question. What do you got?
Man, so if I could pick, I think the guy that's going to be awesome is Cooper on the defense. That is my guy right now. I am riding that train for a bit. If we got to go offense, man, give me Jacobs, the running back. Like between those two guys, those are my studs right there.
Yeah, I think, those are good picks. I think for me, it's probably Josh Jacobs in the offense. I like everything that he does, how he runs, how he talks.
Man. Just a beast.
He let him know too. He ain't afraid to talk. He ain't afraid to say. He's not like he doesn't talk stupid, but he'll let everyone know. And on the defense, I'll say Kenny Clark. I do love me some Kenny Clark. I got the bobblehead over here. He's been on my podcast like 4 times, which means that he doesn't mind doing trash podcasts. You know what I mean? So I respect that.
The unique thing about Kenny Clark is he got a 3rd contract. That just doesn't happen in the NFL.
Dude, he's been playing for the Packers since I was in middle school, it feels like. Or at least when my kids were in middle school.
Man, he's always played at a high level, so.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy, you know.
I feel like
anyone
the
you talk
Packers
to,
always get nice guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it goes with the team. That's something that they seek out. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like he's like when I have him on a podcast or you see him in interviews. He's very soft spoken, nice guy. And then you see him on the field and he's doing that like he's about to murder people. And it's like that flip. I don't have that flip. I'm soft all the time. I doesn't matter what I can go like no, really calm down. All right, just go.
Yeah, everyone's be like, Matt's had a few beers. Just let him go.
Just calm down. He's getting after it. All right, we got Aaron. He says, "Go Pack, go! Can't wait to chant Bears still suck on Thursday night." And dude, that's a good point. I wonder at what point that happens. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Bears
or like
still
I
suck
hope.
chant.
I'm just curious as to whose career they're going to ruin with the 1st round pick.
I know,
Because
right?
they've done it for so many times.
You know, there's like 5-10 guys just group prayers. Don't let the Bears draft me.
They got their
Careers
family
are
doing a
ended.
prayer. They got their family doing prayer chains right now, just like, hey, we,
Go.
we don't want them to go to Chicago. Please, no.
All right, so let's talk about this. We're gonna and everyone in the chat, hammer the comments, and I'll try to get to as much as you can. You can ask questions about the package. You can ask about band life, as a lead singer. Ask your mother, but I forgot the question now. That I said so much stuff in between there. No, but how do you think Green Bay handles this draft? There'll be a lot of people coming into town. What do they say? 250,000 people they predict, and I think it's hard to predict.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the past years, like, there was 600,000, then 300,000, and then, it's like, that's, what comes to a game? 70,000, So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
now
yeah.
you're trying to prepare for 4 times that, on a minimum. So I mean, I feel like they've done enough like ahead of time, and I think they've done enough like talking. I'm sure talking to other cities and everything else how to figure this out. I think it'll go smooth. I hope the people that come to the draft like Green Bay, like and have a good experience with it. Like I always like make it a point whenever like I'm at a game, like and there's opposing teams fans, to not make them feel like we don't want them there, because we do want them to come experience Lambeau.
Yeah,
We
for
want them
sure.
to lose at the same time, but I want them to like respect Lambeau for what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I think it's a big crowd like to have, but like they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
prepared. I wonder, like, here's my question: is like stadium view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the people drinking, all the people, are they like getting deliveries as the day goes on? Because there is going to be. Can you imagine the amount of alcohol? I know you don't
Oh
drink,
my
but like
God.
the amount of alcohol that's going to be consumed in
Yeah.
Green Bay. Like, how do they keep up with all that? That's what I want to
Well,
know.
Matt, this is the way I look at it. Um, Nobody compares to Wisconsin drinkers. Okay. So 70,000 Wisconsin drinkers versus 300,000 rest of the world drinkers. It's about the same, in my opinion. So I think they'll be fine. Yeah, as far as like the logistics of everything, like that's why we have to be there at like 6:15 in the morning, because they have so many roads blocked off and everything else like that to get there. But yeah, I believe they have a delivery route figured out where like there'll be people like busting stuff in and everything else like that.
Yeah, I think that has to be because I don't think there's enough room in a
Mhm.
building at
No.
6 in the morning to last the whole day.
Mm.
Especially on those light beers, people like those light beers. You know what I mean?
I saw you and my buddy Eric were doing the Pabst Light recently. So
Yeah, his wife found it, but I've been looking for it. Pabst Light is new.
well, see, that's
I've been.
old but new. So they
Oh yeah,
used to
yeah,
have
exactly.
Pabst
It's
Light way
back.
back. Yeah, yep.
I think
But
it's
Pabst Light
probably
is
a
new,
different recipe. Maybe I don't know. I wasn't around in the
probably.
'80s,
My
but
old buddy Cooter is a giant Pabst fan, so he has like all these Pabst mirrors and everything else like that. He has a beer bottle collection that I think is in the 500 range,
no kidding,
and
huh?
He has Pabst Light mirrors, so that's why I knew Pabst Light was a thing at one point.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, someone was talking about it. I wasn't. I mean, I was around probably back then. Wasn't much of a
Mhm.
drinker probably as a 6-year-old or whatever it was. It was in the '80s.
Probably not. I mean, hopefully not. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But no, but I was looking for this because I really want to try it. I like light beer, and I'm always trying to
Mhm.
find new stuff. But I was glad to actually find it. But I want to find it because I had one because I was at Eric's house, and so I drank like half beer because I had to drive. I'm a responsible
Mhm.
fellow, and
Yeah.
I want to find a good old 30 pack. I know they have them around. They have them everywhere where I haven't been yet.
Mm.
But
Well, the
shout out to
last place
Eric's
you look
wife.
is where it's going to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Right.
Why would you keep looking?
Right. Exactly.
I think that's the most funny thing. He was like, "Yeah, you know where I found it? The last place I
Once
looked."
I
Well, no,
looked,
okay.
yeah.
Like,
You didn't keep
hey,
looking for
Jimmy,
it after you found it?
you find your wallet? Yeah, but I'm still
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's one of those things where that was like two drunk guys like came up with that one.
And it just
Oh,
stuck,
so it's the last place you look. Durr. Yeah, it is.
dude. That's I could talk about that all day. Like the like old sayings. Like my mom
Oh
always
yeah.
had like my mom always had the older like we didn't have a pot window to throw it out of. And I always wondered, like, what does that mean? But then I watched History Channel and I found out back in the day they just threw all their stuff out the window. Crap, urine, whatever, Little Jimmy walking on the street, they didn't care. He just got it all thrown at his head. Anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand. All right, so we're talking about the draft. All right. So, so what are your plans? You're performing Friday night. Are you performing at any other times, or are you just going to be out there hanging out? What's going on?
Yeah, we're just playing that day. I just the logistics of it. Like, we didn't really want to try to plan to play a bunch of places up there, just because of how it's an all day affair, and we just it's a lot of work and like just to do that. So we got one night. We're like, that's good enough. We don't need to book anymore. Some friends of ours are playing a few nights, and I'm like, geez, man, they must just hate sleeping. So
yeah, and you think moving all your gear around would be so hard once you're there. Like, that's why you're there Thursday morning early. But if you're playing Friday morning, but you're gonna get there early, but like you think all the streets are closed off. So if you had to move your stuff somewhere for Saturday, I feel like that'd be horrible.
Well, yeah, to get it out too, like they're saying, like we can't leave until after bar close to get our vehicles and stuff out with our credentials. Because you have to have special credentials to get in there anyway. So with the vehicle.
Dude, I want to get some of those credentials.
Well, we only have one, so I'd give you one, Matt, but we only got one, and we need it for our band trailer because I'm not wheeling that stuff from a quick trip down the road,
Just throw that in the back of my truck, bro.
You do have a nice truck. I do know that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that all your equipment would fit out there. No, but I plan on being out there Friday night. I'm trying to figure out what to do because
I'm going to hang out all day. I'll be hanging out all day, I think.
Oh, yeah, I'll be hanging out the whole whatever 3 days that is. But Friday night, I plan on being there to watch the greatest band in Green Bay.
Are you talking about us? Ask Your Mother?
Yeah. No, I was talking about that glam band, but I'm gonna watch you too.
Really good. Hey, Matt, I'll watch glam band with you. How about that?
No, I think that you're both great bands, but yeah, I will definitely be there. I think it's gonna be a good time. So, what else? You kind of got the heads up on what's going on over on the draft. So, what else does So you guys are playing Friday night. Do you know who's playing the other night? Because you're probably these other bands, right? A little bit.
Yeah, I saw our friends Boombox were playing, I believe, Thursday. I know Road Trip is another band that's playing in the area around there too. Those are friends of ours. It's kind of cool, like in the music community, like we're all pretty tight. Like it's never really like, oh, those guys suck and we hate them. It's always like, oh, I love watching those guys play. It's in Wisconsin with music and everything else like that. I know on Saturday at Stadium View, our friends in Carbon Road are playing there. They're a great band. Also, the Third Wheels are playing. Go check out Carmen. That chick can sing like nobody's business. Like, there's a lot of great music that's going to be around there. So definitely worth go checking out before you go to the draft, or even after the draft. Hang out,
Yeah, and they're gonna have they got food trucks over there. They got a lot of cool stuff over at Stadium View. I feel like everybody's gonna have like so much stuff. People are talking about like, will there be enough food? People like in Wisconsin are like, hey, can I eat? Are we gonna have brats? Where the brats gonna be at?
First off, where's the alcohol? Second off, how much does it cost? Third off, where's the brats? Like, that's what they need to know.
That's what it is. No, but I think that the whole area is gonna be crazy. Like, what do you think? Because like you see like how all those fences are going. Have you been down there at all yet?
I have not been down there yet. Oh, also another shout out to our friends in Grand Union. They're playing as well down there. So check those guys out. They do like country, rock, pop. They do a little bit of everything. So they're a great band.
I like that. I like that. Like your song "Low," we played it for the intro. I like that you kind of like make things your own a little bit and kind of like change them, and that sounds like the same thing that they do, and I think that's great. I listen to that song "Low" all the time.
Yeah, did your wife say that's not a real song? Like, it's not a real song?
She said, that's not a real song. But that's only because she thought it was like the intro. Because there was that one version of your song that that someone edited for me, and it was like, I drink and I know things, and then like the song starts, so it's like an
Yeah.
intro part. So my wife always, whenever she hears it, she thinks of that, and she's like, "That's not a
Mhm.
real song." I'm like, "It is," and
Mhm.
it. Ask your mother, and then she's
Mhm.
like, "My mom would never heard of them."
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I love
No, it's
that
kind
your
of
name
fun.
Ash.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'll say I love that your name is Ask Your Mother. I know we talked about this last time, but people listening, maybe watching, didn't hear about it. But like, Ask Your Mother, the talk about how you guys got that name, because people want to know.
So I actually joined the band after they had the name. So I
Yeah.
wasn't the
Oh yeah.
original
Yeah.
lead
So you're
singer, but
just They're like you're like
I'm just a new
the
guy.
least
Yeah.
important member.
Yeah. I've only been there like 16 years. It's no big deal. No, they were joking around because everybody in the band's a dad, myself included. We're all at least stepdads or dads in the band, and they were joking when they were putting the band together originally, like how many times a day they tell their kids, "Ask your mother." And Kevin, our bass player, who also does all the design work, he was mocking up some designs for the band name, and he thought, "Oh, that would be kind of a funny band name." And someone says, "What's the name of the band?" And you say, "Ask your mother." And kind of a smart aleck comment, but I always thought it would people would remember it sticks with their brain, like the name of the band's Ask Your Mother. So that's kind of how it came about.
That is a fantastic name. I think it's hilarious. And I've met people at work like, hey, my friend. I'll just bring it up. My friend's in
Yeah,
a band, and they're
yeah.
like, what band? Ask your mother. You're like,
And they're like,
well,
oh, nice one, Matt. Yeah, thanks.
they're like, yeah, well, go to hell, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, why are you such a dick?
That's pretty much it. And I do want to give a shout out right here. We got a comment. Known Vandals has a song coming out, and dude, they shout me out in the song, and I'm in the music video. It's dropping
Dude,
on
I
the
heard
24th.
this. I heard a clip of it. Christy played it for me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool as hell.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm pumped for it. They played live at
Mhm.
WFRV. I think that's crazy. Have you ever played live on TV before?
Yes, yes.
What's that like? Because I seen them doing it. Big shout to Known Vandals. Watch that song. But I saw them like the clip of them playing on the news. I feel like,
Mhm.
dude, like all the people. Like I don't know. I just feel like that's a lot to to do. What's that like?
It's to me, it's almost harder than having an audience because I love the feedback from an audience. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, oh, they really like that one, or
yeah. They
they
rev
were
you up a
getting
little
into their
bit.
dancing. And so that when you get the feedback from them live, like that gives you like the energy to keep going or be pumped about the song. But when there's nobody in front of you except for a camera, like I don't know, does the camera guy like it? Like I hope so. He's stuck here
You got the
videotaping it.
producer doing this.
Yeah, like
He's like,
man, like it's funny one of those things. Like if you ask most musicians, they'll say like it's easier to get in front of like 1,000 people than it is to get in front of 10. It's just
yeah.
I don't know. The energy you get from that big of a crowd is it's awesome. Like, but like we did a show one time down, and we did Channel 5 too, like the same place that you're talking about. We did that same thing there. We played a couple songs there last summer, and but we did one down in Milwaukee at Fox 6 News one time, and it was just funny because it was like like one guy, it was like his first show with us ever was on live TV. Adam, our keyboard and guitar player, that was his first show with us, and then his second show was later that day at Summerfest. So it's like Adam got all the big ones out of the way right away.
What was he nervous? He screwed anything up or what?
No, he did great. Adam never screws anything up. If anybody
I
screws stuff up, it's me screwing words up. So
I do want to say it because we have you on and we're like talking to you, but a lot of great. Obviously, the band isn't just Eric. So let us know about some of the band. Show some love to the
oh,
rest of the band.
absolutely. So we got on the drums is Joey Nemeth. He is a phenomenal drummer. Come check him out. Um, yeah, come see his orange drum kit. It's pretty awesome. Uh, so yeah, Joey's been in a bunch of bands. Him and Kevin, our bass player, they were in a band called Frenzy for a lot of years. That was a pretty popular '90s band back in the day. Um, Ask Your Mother's been a band since '08, so just to throw that out there, we've been doing it for quite a while. Tim Morey's our lead guitar player. So Tim, Joey, and Kevin are the original members of Ask Your Mother. They started it. And then Adam Kraus is our keyboard and gets rhythm guitar player and lead guitar. Everybody plays a little bit of guitar basically in the band. So And then I sing and play a little bit of acoustic sometimes. But,
I like how you're like, and then I sing.
well, that's all I do. But
So
actually, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
say you don't play guitar. You don't.
I do. I play acoustic on a couple songs, depending on what's on the set. But I'll do like acoustic on like Johnny Cash or something like that.
Dude, are you gonna play Johnny Cash Friday night? That's the
I
thing
don't
we should
know,
talk about.
probably.
What songs are? I mean, you don't have to give your whole thing away, but like maybe like you want to let us know a little something that we can expect Friday night.
I honestly don't know because I don't make the set list up. I just show up and
You're
then
not,
they're like,
dude. You're not in control at all. I got
no,
the wrong person on.
they're like, get here at this time and don't be late and help us set everything up and then sing the song, monkey.
And
No, I'm
then
kidding.
say these words
Right,
in
right.
rhythm.
No, we'll probably do Johnny Cash. I think. We do like Foo Fighters. Like our set is so like all over the board. So we'll do like Foo Fighters 1 minute and Johnny Cash another minute, and then we're doing like Flow Rida Low, like you heard. But then we'll do like Metallica, and then we'll do like Cake by the Ocean. Like it's very random, the different stuff we do, and which makes it fun. We always said if you're going to be a cover band, cover them all if you can. But then we'll do some country in there too, like Eric Church or like Brothers Osborne and stuff like that. And,
That's awesome.
I think we do a Luke Combs song too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Johnny Cash.
Yes, sir.
What songs? Like, what Johnny Cash songs? Because like, do you have that? Like, do you kind of change it up, or do you got that? Hello, my name is Johnny Cash.
We do.
I don't think I did it very well.
I think it's actually what he says. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. But we do Folsom Prison is the song that we do by Johnny.
Dude, I could sing that thing, dude. I'll take me on stage. I'll sing it. No,
Hey, you show up. You show up. I'll throw a mic in your face and you get up there.
No, I'll sing from the ground, but I know all the songs, all the words of Folsom Prison Blues. It's hard. I was thinking about that the other day because like I have it on my playlist in my truck, and if it comes on, like I crank it no matter what's going on, and I sing the whole words. And I know all the words, but I think if it was instrumental, I'm not sure how good I would do. I wonder about that.
You need the backup singer of Johnny Cash helping you out.
I think 95% of it I could do Folsom Prison Blues, but I feel like some of it I'm gonna be like blah, 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 blah.
Hey, the thing is, if you don't tell anybody you screwed up the words, they're not going to know unless you tell them.
Dude, I feel like that's true. No one knows, especially everyone's half in the bag.
Matt, if they actually listened to how many times I screw up the words in songs, they'd stop coming to see us. They'd be like, "That guy's a hack. He doesn't know what he's doing."
Yeah, no one notices. I think it can still be entertaining. What are you drinking there? Water? That's
water. Yeah.
What is that? Like a 4-gallon jug? That I have garbage cans in my house smaller than that thing.
No, I think it's only 100 ounces or something like that. It ain't all that big.
So is that like you on a health thing? Like you gotta drink so much water in a day? I'm trying to get a little healthier.
I do like to drink a lot of water, and it's definitely good for you. I filled this up this morning, and I try to drink at least 3/4 of it by the end of the day if I can. The biggest thing with me though is when I do a lot of talking, I get dry mouth really easy, so that's why I'm drinking a lot of water right now.
I'm doing the same thing, but I got beer.
Beer.
It's light beer though, so it's a little bit of water in there.
What kind of beer you got?
Tonight I got Coors Light. I don't have any. I was trying to go with the Pabst.
That's a favorite of the band. The band likes Coors Light.
Yeah,
I've
drank
Coors
Light
the band. Miller Lite was my favorite back in the day when I used to drink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good beer. I drank it before. It was like when it was trash beer. That was like really cheap. That's why I drank it. And then it got like popular, and everyone started drinking it. They raised the prices like everything. But anyways.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how they do that?
It used to be like the cheap beer. It used to be like nobody really drank it. I think I probably started that whole trend. I probably saved the company. I probably saved jobs.
When I decided to quit drinking, I think Miller called me and they're like, "Hey, we're not making our quotas anymore. You think you'd reconsider?"
Is that what you drank back in the day?
Miller Lite, yeah.
You tanked their stock
just
by bettering your life?
I know. What an idiot, right?
Shame on you. So that water jug just makes me laugh. It looks so big, especially in the camera when you lift it up.
Well, I mean, it is pretty big. Like
It's bigger than your head by like twice. And that, dude, I bet you that's like a $90 bottle of water right there. Like, those things ain't cheap, and that's a good one.
That one I think cost. I think it was like $40 or something.
Dude, why are they so expensive to hold water? Why is that?
I don't know.
I went to the pro shop to buy my wife like a Packer one of those things, and I was like, bro, I had to get a loan. What's going on? Why are they so expensive?
Well, this one's called a Zeus is the name of it. They call it the Zeus.
Like a Zeus.
Yeah.
It looks like a Zeus.
Full discretion, this is my third one that I've purchased because one fell out of the back of my boat and sunk. So that one's gone. It's in the bottom of Lake Winnebago somewhere. And then another one I dropped to the point of where it just shattered, where I couldn't put the lid on it anymore. It was all just broken. So then now this is like my third one that I'm on.
Dude, we're gonna add the diver on the case and go retrieve that lost water bottle.
You know, if I would have known him back then, I may have saved the GPS coordinates and have been like, see what you can find.
Go down there.
Right.
What's up, Jesse? Checking in from Kokano, Wisconsin. So let me ask this, Eric.
Yes, sir.
You know, let's talk about some actual football, some Green Bay Packers draft football. I'm not gonna ask anything crazy, but what position? Because I don't know how big you are in the college. I'm not really big, so I can't start rattling off names of who I think the Packers will draft. But what position do you think they go after? Or what position do you think that you want them to go after? What do you want them to do?
I really think they need help with the defensive end. I think they need a good edge rusher. I think that's priority one. I think priority two is a receiver, and I think priority three is a quarterback. Those are my top three that I want them to address in the draft. If they can shore up a little bit more, like offensive line depth is always good. But I feel like all the other positions, I feel like they've got pretty well figured out.
Yeah. I think pass rush is key.
Yes.
Like, but I also wonder, I've seen other people talk about this, like, do they think they're good with they got a new defensive line coach? Do they think he can whip them into shape, one way to say it, whatever, but like get them to buy it? I don't know the problem, but because the pass rush, they either had it pretty good or they didn't have it at all. There was like either it was hit or miss. Pass rush is the most important position.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I think, is important, but like I don't know that they're going to draft. I mean, not anything early.
No, I don't think so either. I think that'll be a day 3 thing, as what my guess is, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think there's any chance that they dude, that would be the thing. Because everyone is like over the wide receiver in the first round. It's not going to happen. Which I'm not even sure it should happen unless something crazy like falls to them, someone crazy. But could this be the year that everyone's just like, it ain't going to happen, whatever. They're going, we're going to need a defensive end, we need this or that. And then all of a sudden they draft, maybe they jump up and get a top-notch wide receiver. How shocked would you be? Because I would be.
I wouldn't be super shocked. It'd be. I think the right situation, if the right player fell to them, they may do something. But because they're not dumb, if they can find a guy that they thought wasn't even going to be close to them, they'd be like, well, we probably should get him, kind of thing. But
yeah, I know that Goody was talking about, because they were asking about trading back possibly, and Goody's whole philosophy is more picks, the better, because it's like more at bats. I think it's his word. It's like more opportunities you have to, because people think that because the guy is drafted in third round, that's a third round talent. But like, how many guys were drafted in the third round end up being better than everyone in the first round, like a big majority of their position? So it's something that's like half luck, half skill, half scouting, whatever. But like, you never know just because of a third round player that there's not going to be a first round talent.
Right. Well, and the other thing is too, didn't they just bring in a guy that was a first round pick that 2 other teams had dumped already? To give him a tryout, why not? You know what I mean? Like he was like a top 10 pick too, and just didn't pan out. I mean, that's what happens sometimes. But then all of a sudden you get with Donald Driver, 7th round pick or something like that, And that guy played with us forever. He was a great player for how many years for us. So,
yeah, I don't think it really matters where they're picked. I think it's about opportunity, the team that they're playing with. Like if you're a wide receiver and you get to play with, like Devontae Adams was drafted, Aaron Rodgers is there, and like if you have a quarterback or you have a good offensive line, like you have a good situation, you could flourish if you have the right coaches. And if you don't have all that, like you play for the Bears, you're probably going to struggle. You know what I
Well,
mean?
when you have a new coach every 6 months, you got a new coach in Chicago, and like how do you like do that? You know what I mean? Like there's never any consistency there, and then when you lose the locker room, you lose everything. So that's Chicago in a nutshell, basically.
That's the Chicago way. We got a question for you from Adam. Let's go. And how do you do it all, man? Working, hunting, fishing, singing. Are you Superman? Tell me, let everyone know how do you do everything? Because you got a real job. You are a superior singer on Ask Your Mother, and you got you're killing animals behind you. You got fishing. You got the boat. You got all that. How do you make it happen?
Well, for one, my job is very cool about me asking off for band gigs and like very easy going with my schedule. It's nice working for a small business that does that. Where I feel like if I was in a bigger corporation, I don't know if I'd get as much
Yeah.
flexibility with that. So that's first and foremost. They allow me to do the band stuff. The second part of it is, you got to make the time. I got a very good wife that understands like my passions are like duck hunting, fishing, stuff like that, and like it helps me mentally as a human to like be able to be in the outdoors like that. It centers me and gets me back to being like, okay, now I can deal with people again that I've centered myself outside. Not that I don't like dealing with people. I like people. I love people at my shows. It's just like, everybody has stress in their life with
Oh
work
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
And the one thing that's awesome about being in the band is that like a lot of that stress gets screamed into that microphone by the end of the night. Like, and you feel a lot better after that. It's sometimes if I haven't had a gig in a couple of weeks, I'm getting a little twitchy. Like I need to start yelling into a microphone or something.
Dude, whenever when you were saying that, the song that came to my mind is Papa Roach, that cut my life into pieces. Do you sing that song?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
we do.
That's a good song. I like that song. I think
We
it's
will
funny
do
because,
that. I guarantee we'll do that one Friday night.
dude, that song is funny because a lot of mainstream people never heard of Papa Roach at that time when that
Really?
song came out because they were
Oh, they're
like,
amazing.
oh yeah, they're great, but they're like more
Hmm.
hardcore. Not a lot on the radio, like the
Hmm.
mainstream radio. But remember, like when that song came out, I was like, oh, I love this band or whatever. And I listened to the rest of the record, I was like, it's not all like that.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's
it's a lot
great. Like it's
heavier.
not really my type of
Hmm.
music that I listen to on the regular. But I think that "Cut My Life into Pieces" song that's such a good song, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they're a fantastic band. Not exactly like my genre that I listen to all the time, especially like their more
Mhm.
normal stuff. But they're fantastic. That's a good song.
I've seen them twice live, and they always bring it. They were the opening band the one time I saw them, and they made the headliner look like trash. So they always are high energy, great performance.
So, who are your favorite bands? You want to
First
rattle a
and
feel? If you don't have to say number one, but you could just
absolutely.
don't be in order.
One of the bands I've seen the most that I absolutely love is the Dropkick Murphys. I don't know if you've ever heard of them or seen them.
I don't think I have.
I've seen them 5 times. They do that "Shipping Up to Boston" song. Everybody knows that one. Like
Sing
it's,
it.
I can't sing it without the band here. Come on. It's in a ton of movies. You ever see the movie The Departed?
Yeah.
It's in that movie. That song is. Those guys are from Boston. They're huge in Boston. Ken Casey, their lead singer and bass player. Well, he doesn't do bass anymore because he hurt his hand, but he's their lead singer. He actually sent me a video when I was going through cancer treatment, thanking me for all my years of support and giving me like a big pep talk, like you're going to get through this, everything's going to be fine. And it was pretty cool to get that from him. So I got to say, Dropkick Murphys right away. Foo Fighters, I've seen them twice. Those guys are amazing. Love seeing their shows. I do like some old school country, like Johnny Cash was always playing in my house when I was a kid. Um, Bruce Springsteen was always playing with my dad. My dad had some pretty cool albums back in the day that we'd listen to. but yeah, I would say those are probably some of my top music favorites. But it's so hard to say because I love so much different music for
Yeah.
so many different reasons. I can't just pick one. But
Oh yeah, for sure. I absolutely agree with that. I have different music that I use. I listen to for different stuff. Like when I'm going to work, I try to listen to like upbeat hip hop,
yeah,
something
yeah.
something like happy. Just try to like
Mhm.
make my brain not want to swerve into
Yeah.
this tree on my way to work.
What's a great song that puts me in a good mood every time I hear it is "Gonna Have a Good Day" by Nappy Roots. I
Yeah, Nappy
absolutely
Roots,
love
dude.
song. Love that song. You can't be in a bad mood after listening to that song. You just can't.
Dude, you know what's funny about that song, Nappy Roots? I listen to that a lot on my way to work,
Hmm.
and
Love that song.
you're like, "Are you gonna have a good day?" Everything,
Yeah.
all this. So then it gets in your head, right? So I get to
Yes.
work, and it's playing in my head like a soundtrack. But then one
Mhm.
person says some dumb stuff to me, it's like, and then it turns into Limp Bizkit. Break some stuff tonight. Give me something to break. That's what people do to you at work.
I mean, it can happen.
No, I'm just kidding.
Last week at work was some very interesting questions from people that I was just like, when is it gonna end?
Yeah, work sucks. What are you gonna do? But they're all good people. My work, your work, everyone who might be
Absolutely,
listening.
I
Unless
love
they're
my
not
job. I
listening.
really do. No, I love my job. I really do. Sportomotive. Shout out to my boys in Sportomotive. I really enjoy working with those guys. We do boats and side by sides and all that fun stuff like that. So all fun things at my work.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
saved it. But
Yeah, no,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it is a great job. I have a
it is. I
great
do.
job
I
too.
like it. Hmm.
Yeah.
You make
But
cheese, don't you?
yo, I cut the cheese.
That's what I'm talking about.
People always ask, what do you do for a living? I cut cheese, bro. I cut the
Hmm.
cheese. And that's not even counting what I do at the cheese factory.
Just walking
No,
around crop dusting everybody.
dude, that's a great thing. I might crop dust people at the draft. I think that's one of the lost arts of our society. You know
My
what I
buddy
mean?
Cooter is phenomenal at it. He does it on random
What's
people
his
that he
name?
doesn't know. Cooter.
Cooter.
Yeah.
Crop dust people. That's
Oh, he
shocking.
does. He does.
He sounds like an awesome fella.
He is. He's a giant of a man. Him and I have had.
That
Him
makes
and
it
I were.
worse.
He's 6'8" and like 300, over
Dude,
300 pounds. I know
dude,
that.
dude, if you get crop dusted by a man that's 6'8", that's right in your mouth, bro.
Yeah.
That's going right down the old gully.
Yeah. He's all torso though. He doesn't have much for legs, so
All right.
it's just a little lower.
It's still gonna be. It depends how tall you are. You're
My
catching
favorite
that.
One of my favorite Cooter stories is we were up in Green Bay at the Resch, and we were seeing. I think it was Toby Keith was playing up there, and then afterwards we were hanging out at Stadium View, and where we're gonna be. And I think a band was playing. National Pipeline, I think, was playing there that night, and we had convinced half the bar that Cooter was the backup lineman for Mark Tauscher at the time because he's 6'8" and 350 pounds. So if he was like legitimately signing autographs for people in the bar. But this is like before smartphones were things, so nobody could like look it up and be like, this idiot ain't on the Packers team, you know?
That's awesome,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Gotta
Back in
love
the
it.
day, you could trick people. Now everyone,
No, now everyone's got the Googler machine and you're done.
dude, they'll take a picture of you. They run it
Hmm.
through the internet. And like, nope.
Yeah.
Turns out he's a bartender, or whatever he does.
Cooter's a bouncer. I mean, he does.
Oh, I was close.
He does that as a part-time job.
A bouncer seems like a fun job. If you were that size and you could handle people,
Come on
I'd
now.
walk up to someone
Matt-
like, "Hey, it's time for you to go." And like, no, it's time for you to go. Like, maybe you're right. I don't know. And I go back like, he hit me with the Uno reverse. I'm going home.
I've bounced before, and it is honestly the most boring job in the world until it isn't. Then all of a sudden it becomes okay. Now what are we going to do now? You know,
Yeah, I couldn't be a bouncer. I could barely be a
fight the
drinker.
dirtiest. Girls fight the dirtiest.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so you had to break up some girl fights?
Basically, one time I was bouncing at this bar, and two girls had each other, and they wouldn't let go of each other's hair, and they were pulling as hard as they could. So I just looked at the bouncer. I'm like, you take her, I'll take the other one. We just grabbed them by the waist and separated, just walked backwards until they let go of each other. And he took one out one door, and I took one out the other door. And I'm like, there, that's it.
Then
No
they met
more.
at Denny's.
Yeah, they probably fought in the parking lot. I have no idea, but they weren't in the bar anymore, so that's all that matters.
Dude, I was at Aunt Doozy's one time with like my mom, my brother, and like, it wasn't like a party mode. It was like we were having a few beers, hanging out. And my brother put me in like a full Nelson because he's my big brother, That's what big
Yeah.
brothers do. He's screwing around with me. So he's got his hands up here, and I'm like, I'm doing this thing like I did when I was in like 8th grade all over again. And then all of a sudden he was just gone. And I was like, So I looked around, and then he was like, had him in a full Nelson now, and they're like
They're walking him out.
and they threw him out and he like fell on the sidewalk, and he's like and I was like, no, we weren't fighting. That's my brother. And like, oh, he's with you? And I was like, whoa, I'll just walk out. And then
That's
I just
awesome.
left, and then everyone kind of just left after us. But yeah, being a bouncer, I should try it one time. I could probably bounce like some like if I at a school or something, like a middle school. I think that's the level of people that I could bully, or I can not bully, but like leave a building if I needed to.
The trick with bouncing is you got to have a small bouncer there, like a little guy, to go over first, because then the big guys are like, this guy ain't gonna do nothing. They kind of takes them off edge before you send over the big guys right away.
Yeah. And then
I feel like people would listen to you, like, because they'd be like, this guy's I don't know, he's goofing around or something. I don't know, maybe.
I could be a little guy. No, I don't want to be a bouncer. I don't have that type of confrontation in me. But anyways, we're rambling here.
I'm good at that.
Iowa Joe says that's crazy because Ramage starts a bunch of girl fights. I don't know what that means. Those are lies, Iowa Joe. But all right, so we got Ask Your Mother Band is going to be performing Friday night. Sorry, what do you say? 5:30?
Yeah, I think we start at 5:30. We go to 8:30. So
Friday night, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out, and this Thursday. So I start the day 6 a.m. WBAY. We're going to be hanging out with the morning crew there. Going to be on the news.
that's awesome.
And that is cool. I get a little bit nervous for that stuff, but it was fun last time we did it. But now it's gonna be like outside, kind of like by the draft scene. They have a set up there, like everyone does. And then at 2:30, I'll be at Stadium View, and I'm gonna be on WIXX, which has always been like one of my I've always kind of wanted to be on the radio. Where I was like, because when I first started doing this stuff, and I see people go on the radio, I was like, oh man, that'd be cool to be on WIXX. I always thought that when I go on WIXX, I made it.
You made it, yeah. They're big time radio.
I didn't. Yeah, but turns out that doesn't mean that. But it's awesome. I'm pumped to be on WIXX. I've been listening to that since I was, it's been around since before me, I think. Since forever, but the radio. So I'm pumped for that. And then WFRV, I think I'm gonna be on it with them after that at some point Thursday. I'm not sure exactly when that one's gonna be. It might be 3, 4, 5 o'clock hour. I'm not really sure yet. We haven't figured it out. But shout out to everyone who's I think it's awesome. It's so fun to do this stuff. I did that WBAY, the morning show a couple weeks ago, and dude, that was such a cool experience. To see the studio, and they don't have ceilings.
Yeah, you go in there and you think like it's this huge, gigantic room, and everything's right next to each other. Just big enough to sit on the camera view, and hey, we're setting up our band stuff, and the guy's doing the weather right next to us. Oh, okay. There's a 100% chance of rock today. That's what's going on.
That's what I should say. Yeah. No, but Steve Balon is one of my favorite people. I've been watching him. It seems like forever. He's funny. He's that wholesome, meteorologist. And I've always liked him. And back in the day, a bird got in our house. And me and my son, I have a video of me and my son trying to get this bird out of the house. We got pillows and blankets trying to just a little bird. And it's the funniest video. And then my son finally gets him out of the house and he's trying to shut the door, but now the floor mat's in the way. And he's it's just a funny video. And then we sent it to Steve Balon on Twitter, and he laughed about it. And my son thought it was the coolest thing. He's oh, Steve Balon saw that because we see him on TV all the time. Right. So it was super cool to meet him. And he was so nice. Everyone over there. So
for sure.
It's cool to just have opportunities to do stuff that you never thought you would ever be doing.
Yeah, especially I didn't think I'd be on the Matt Ramage show here.
I'm sure that's the highlight of your. It's not the highlight of your day.
I'm a 2-time Matt Ramage podcaster. Let's go.
Dude, we need to do a live show. One of your shows we should broadcast live on the Matt Ramage.
I mean, if you can get past the legality of all of our cover songs being played live,
oh yeah, they just come murder me.
Yeah, they'd be like, you get no money for any of this because you use copyrighted stuff.
Yeah, I get that a lot when I do like a meme and have like a little song in the background. It's like 4 seconds. They're like, nope. Now you're giving all your money to them. I'm like, well, it's not much. You're getting 13 cents. So hope they enjoy
they can
it,
have they can have the 13 cents that I was gonna make out of that, you know.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this thing up. Eric Rathsack from Ask Your Mother Band. Check him out Friday night, and askyourmother.com, right? That's a website.
AskYourMotherBand.com.
AskYourMotherBand.com.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, and I don't think we're on X anymore. We used to be, but we dumped that one. We always joke that you can find us at FarmersOnly.com too, as well.
Yeah, FarmersOnly.com, OnlyFans, and and Facebook.
CCAP, find us on there.
Yeah, and so we're gonna, as we leave you today, we're gonna play this because I don't think we'll get copyrighted because I didn't before with the low song because you changed it so much. It's changed so much. This is a great song.
It's a locked up version.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song. Here we go, Ask Your Mother Band, Friday night, Stadium View, about 5:30 p.m. Stadium View has got a bunch of stuff happening all weekend long, all draft long. So be sure to check out Stadium View and all the places around Lambeau Field. I will be there Thursday, probably Friday night as well, to listen to these guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go Pack, go. Shout out to Eric Rathsack and the band.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, guys.